Good evening, everyone. I figured tonight we'll do a little something different with my Bakugan because I didn't get to properly do an Independence Day special last weekend because of the technical difficulties. I decided that I still wanted to do some kind of Independence Week schedule. I figured since tomorrow is 1 week after Independence Day, tonight we're still technically within Independence Week. So I decided that given my content, the best way to do an independence themed special is to do something red, white, and blue themed. So I pulled out my Bakugan, and tonight I'm going to practice rolling all my red, white, and blue Bakugan. Pyrus, Aquos, and Chaos. Normally when I roll multiple colors, I do them one after the other. But in order to keep the patriotic theme going, I'm going to alternate. However, I have more reds, and I have more Pyrus and Aquos than I have Chaos. So the first couple, I'm just going to alternate blue and red, and then once I bring white in, I'm going to do the red, white, and blue pattern through the end of the show. And as always, I'll put the cards up on the side of the screen. Alright, I've got 68 Bakugan to practice tonight, so let's not waste too much time talking. Let's get right into it. Let's see, alright. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it looks like I'm casting a little shadow on the playmat. Sorry about that. Let's get started. Alright. I'm going to start with Aquos Fengzor. That was a nice open. And I'll show each Bakugan after they open, just like usual. But we're not going to take too much time on the showing today because with normal Bakugan opening shows, I cap it at 2 or 3 colors because they take a while. So this is Fengzor. He's upside down. There he is. Alright. Oh, I was kind of hoping... I'm just reaching into my bags randomly and grabbing, but I was kind of hoping to save this one for a bit later in the show because he's so cool, but let's go ahead and do him since I grabbed him. Pyrus Farascal. He's kind of unique in terms of how Bakugan work. Let's try that again. That was an odd landing. Farascal being one of the easiest opens is being stubborn tonight. There she is. 8 of my 13 Pegatrix are in red, white, and blue, so you'll be seeing a bunch of my favorite Bakugan tonight as well. I also have Drago. I have more versions of Drago and Pyrus than any other color, though I do have Drago in all colors at this point. There's Farascal. Okay. Oh, we're getting into our first Ultra a little early. Okay. We're going to do Ramparian now. The thing with the Ultras is sometimes they can land upside down, and sometimes I like to reroll them. I'm not going to reroll them too much tonight because there's a lot of these to get through. Normally I limit myself to 2 colors because I have so many. But since we're doing 3 whole colors tonight, it's going to be a bit of a longer practice. Okay. I'm going to do that again. But I've got a bunch of, particularly in Pirates, I've got a bunch of, and some in Aquos too, I've got some really hard to close Ultras. I'm not going to waste time if it's still harder to close Ultra, because, like I said, we've got a lot of these to get through tonight. So Ramparian will get one more take. Oh well, couldn't quite land him on his feet. Let's reset the cores, and here's Ramparian. Alright, who am I rolling next? I think I know which one this is. I've got one of my 4 Pirates Dragos in hand right now. Let's see. Let's see if I got the correct version of Drago's card here. My doctor gave me some medication, so my skin should start improving in the next few weeks. So I might be able to start using face cam again a bit earlier than I anticipated. But not running the face cam gave me an opportunity to adjust this layout and put the logo where the face cam usually goes, so I don't cover it with the cards, at least temporarily. Once the face cam's back, the logo's going right back where it was. Okay, this Drago's being stubborn. Okay, what is that, like 8 or 9 rolls already? There we go. I'm not going to worry about total perfection in the chords this time. Here we go. Season 1 Core Drago. Dragonoid. I got 3 other Pirates Dragonoids. 1 Aquos and 1 Chaos. And then I also have a couple in Aurelus, Darkus, and Ventus as well. Okay. Who do I have here? Oh, I have to cheat a little bit. I really don't know who I have in hand. Now I do. Sorry about that. I've memorized most of the ball forms that I have, but not quite all of them yet because I have so many. So now we're going to roll out Core Aquos Hydrus. Wow. Did you see that? Okay, there we go. Not as stubborn as old Drago there. So this is the Season 1 version of Aquos Hydrus. I also have the Season 2 version. Alright. Okay. Let's bring on the next Bakugan. This is going to be my Ultra Pyrus Hydronoid. This one is one of several Pyrus Ultras I have that's a pain to close. So I hope we can land him the first. See, cores will always land on their feet if you hit the magnet the first try. Sometimes if you have too much momentum, they'll fall over as they hit the magnet. But for the most part, cores will stand up because the magnet's always in the feet. But with the Ultras, the magnet can be anywhere on the body, which is why they often land on their backs or on their sides. It's considered a good roll when you pick up the core and land them on their feet. So let's see what I can do with Hydronoid here. It grabbed the core but didn't open. Let's try that again. I have a few tight balls that don't always pop when they hit the core, but that's the first time I've seen this behavior from Hydronoid. Alright, I'm going to give Hydronoid a redo, just because it didn't fire when hitting the core properly. So give me a moment to close him back up. Hydronoid's a bit tricky to close. There, let's try Hydronoid again. It tried to go on its feet there. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and consider Hydronoid complete at this point. You see the side heads look like arms on this mold. You'll see the core version. Hydronoid is one of the few Bakugan I think the core looks better than the Ultra. Phaedrus too, but we don't have any. While we do have a core Phaedrus in today's session, we won't have an Ultra Phaedrus. Because my Ultra Phaedruses are gold and green, Aurelus and Ventus, which I'm not doing tonight. Okay. Yes, this is one I gotta be careful with. Another Ultra. We're gonna do Cloptor Ultra. I had a scare earlier. I almost lost its eyeball today. Or thought I had lost its eyeball. But things turned out okay. Cloptor has a bizarre play feature that, for some reason, the Ultra version can shoot its eyeball. The core version doesn't do that. And it has no gameplay purpose whatsoever. So I don't know why they made it so you can launch the eyeball. Didn't even grab a core, so I'm going to try Cloptor again. Well, I'm 17 minutes in and I've barely started. Alright. Gotta keep rolling. Didn't really intend a pun there, but I mean, we're literally rolling today, so let's try Cloptor one more time. I want to see at least a few of the Ultras land upright today, but I'm not sure. I'm not good at landing Ultras on their feet. Oh, I land them on their feet off camera all the time. But on stream, I seem to be unable to get them to land properly. But anyways, here's Cloptor. Oh, and I don't believe I properly showed off the Hydronoid. So here's Hydronoid, real quick. And here's Cloptor. Is this? Could be. I hope I get this one correctly. I have Hydrus also in Pyrus. This is the Season 2 core version. And I also have the Ultra in Pyrus, along with Chaos and Darkus. Nice little delayed pop there. That counts as an open, so we're gonna put the core back. I'll show off Hydrus and we'll move on. I wish they all could be this quick and unstubborn. Alright, who do I have next? Yeah. This is one of my trigger-happy Bakugans, so we should have no problem landing it. Vice Rocks. I have them in 3 colors, blue, gold, and green. No Ultras. And all 3 of them are trigger-happy. But they'll still only open if I actually hit the core. Or, you know, bounce them off the core. There we go. And I scattered my cores a little bit. So let me go ahead and put the cores back for the next Bakugan. And there's Vice Rocks. Alright, next I have... Oh dear. I think... I might be wrong. Cycloid. Cycloid is one of my oldest Bakugan. He was one of my first 20 or so, but recently I finally got my second Cycloid in Ventus. But we're not doing Ventus tonight. Wow. There he goes. That was a clean open. Cycloid. Cycloid's like the Cyclops monster. Cloptor to a degree, but Cloptor is more like a beholder. Alright. Oh, good. Good. I like this one. We're getting into one of my favorites now. Pretty sure. Is this... I think... I'm going to be really embarrassed if I get this one wrong. But here we go. I think I picked up my first Pegatrix. Now, the Season 1 Pegatrix Ultra is only available in Aquos and Chaos, blue and white, so you'll be seeing both of mine today. The Season 2 Ultra is available in all colors, as are both the Season 1 and Season 2 cores, also available in all colors. So there's 20 Pegatrix total. I have 13 so far, and 8 of them will be in today's opening. Even though I have so many Bakugan, I don't normally do 3 colors in a session. I think my next Bakugan session is going to be all my Darkus, Sorreless, and Ventus, just so that all my Bakugan can get roughly equal use. And then I'll probably start randomizing colors after that, but only 2 to a show. I'm going to try that again, because that was a very unsatisfying opening. Now, Pegatrix Ultra Season 1, I've only ever landed it on its feet once, and that was my Chaos one. So this is my second attempt on this character, and this is only the 11th of 68 we're doing tonight. So if this one doesn't land on its feet, I'm just going to move on. It double cored without opening. That's highly unusual. Double coring itself is not very common, but when it double cores and picking up the core without opening is also not very common. But when it double cores and doesn't open, that's like kind of like hitting the lottery. I've never had that happen before. I've had double coring happen. I've had not opening when picking up a core happen, but not both at on the same roll. Alright, it must be jammed. Give me a moment. Alright, I've unjammed it, so I will go ahead and give this one more attempt. You'll notice I lined up the playmat on the screen so you can see the Pyrus, Chaos, and Aquos logos. That's not something I'm going to do every time it's lining up the logos, but it made sense to do so today. Alright, let's try Pegatrix again. Okay, it opened. So I'm not going to re-roll it, even though it didn't land on his feet. I got plenty of Ultras going out tonight, so hopefully we can land a few of them on their feet. For Pegatrix. And I am doing the manual parts tonight because I'm in the process of doing photos of all my figures. So I want them to be open all the way. So here's Season 1 Pegatrix Ultra. And with that, this rotation, I'm going to start bringing in the white ones. We're going to have proper red, white, and blue rotation now. Starting with, who is this? Hold on. I need to do a quick discovery. Oh yeah, from one Pegatrix straight into another. We're going with one of my 3 Pyrus Pegatrix. I have Pegatrix complete in Pyrus and Darkus. I have 2 in Aquos, 3 in Chaos, but Chaos has all 4 versions, so I'm not complete there. and then one each in Aurelus and Ventus. So definitely need a lot more there. Anyway, let's get Pegatrix open. There we go. Hopefully the Pegatrix will space themselves out, and we're not going to roll all 8 in a clump. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Pyrus Core Pegatrix Season 2. I have Season 1 Core Pegatrix in 3 colors, but the only color, but the Season 1, the only color that I'm doing tonight is Pyrus, because my other 2 are Darkus and Ventus. Alright, we're going to have our first Chaos Bakugan of the night now. And this will be Core Hydronoid. Should land a lot better than the Ultra version, because it's a core. And cores always land on their feet. That phone call wasn't for me, by the way. Q Caller 1 is going to be in my house tonight after work. He's on his way now, in fact. So here's Hydronoid. And on this one, the side heads actually look like heads, unlike the Ultra version where they look like arms. Alright, let's do a blue one. I was hoping to save this one till later in the show, but we're doing Web'em, the Spider Bakugan. A Bakugan so popular and so short printed that goes for 4 times retail value on the secondary market to get it sealed. Wow. It didn't pick up a core, so by definition I have to close it up and redo. And let me tell you, closing Web'em is a pain. Sometimes even literally. Because it's got 8 tiny legs that you have to hold all of them in place and still have fingers left over to manipulate the shell. Cool, I think that's the quickest I've ever closed Web'em. Let's try that again. It still didn't grab the core, which means I have to try again. It dropped the core as it was landing, which is highly unusual for them to drop the core as they land. So, by definition, I have to do it again. I only consider the roll successful if it grabs the core. Even if it doesn't land on its feet, if it grabs the core, we're good. But if it doesn't grab the core at all, I gotta redo it. Okay, it worked that time. And landed on his feet. But Web'em is really one of the easier ultras to land on his feet. There's the little creepy crawly. And you can flip its eye bit up. You can flip its eyes and fang bit up like that. Alright. We're gonna do Oh, I recognize that bit. We're going to do Core Syndius, which I only have in Pyrus. I do have an Ultra Syndius in both Aquos and Aurelus, so you'll see that one later. You'll see Ultra Syndius later, but this is my only Core Syndius. Nice. That was a good landing. Let me fix the cores. I'll show you Syndius and we'll move on. There's Syndius. Nice little sword that he has coming out. Alright, who do I have now? Ah, yeah. I have my one. I have 4 Fennicas and 3 of them will be tonight. 2 Ultras, 2 Cores. Core, Aquos, and Darkus. Darkus not being rolled tonight, of course. My Ultras are Chaos and Pyrus. So here's Fennica Ultra. Wow. It gets a reroll because Fennica is one of the easiest ones to close. But it looked like it wanted to go on its feet, then backflipped into landing on its head. Totally embarrassing. Let's try that again. Technically, Fennica is one of the easiest to land on its feet, but one of the easiest Ultras, I mean, but it did double core. And here's Fennica Ultra. Tiny little body, big giant ears and tail. It's adorable. Okay, which one is this? I'm going to make a guess here. Trox. I have versions of Trox in all colors except Aurelus. I have all 4 versions in its native color Ventus, and I have red, white, blue, and black in various iterations of Season 2 Core and Ultra. But I only have Season 1 Troxes in green Ventus. I have both Season 2 Core and Ultra in Pyrus, Ultra in Chaos and Darkus, and Core in Pyrus. So yeah, I still need some Aurelus Trox and some more Season 1 colors. Now, all 4 versions of Trox, even though they all look very different, and they all open differently, on all 4 versions, the arms are a manual part. So let me fold those down real quick. And here's Trox. I've always thought the Season 2 core is a little dorky looking. It's like fat. That Tyrannosaurus is not catching any prey. He's too fat and slow. Okay, what have I here? Yes. I'm surprised this one stayed closed in the bag because this is one of my trigger happy ones. We're doing Pyravian. Pyravian always struck me as interesting because Pyravian almost has Pyrus in the name, and yet it's Aurelus in the show. But for the first 2 seasons of Bakugan, until they introduced Falcron in season 3, um, it was the only bird Bakugan for a long time. It technically landed upright and grabbed a core. That was a successful first roll on an Ultra. Granted, it's not that difficult to land Pyravian because um, being a bird, it doesn't really have any feet to land on. And it opened with such force, it even pushed out, as it was opening, one of the manual tail feathers. Here's Pyravian. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Pyravian does look cool. Alright. Who do I have here? I'm going to be upset if I'm wrong about this one. But this is Maxodon, the Mammoth Bakugan. Technically, I should have this one in both white and blue. But I only have it in white because I went to the store one day and there was a bunch of Bakugan sitting on the shelf and I only had enough money to buy 5. So because they had this one in 2 colors, I picked the white one because I was getting another Bakugan in blue. And I went back to the store like 3 days later when I had a little more money to pick up the 2 I had missed, and they were gone. So I never got to get the blue version. Like all cores, very easy roll. So here's Maxodon. I think to be honest, I think Truncanius does elephant types better. And that happens to be one of my Pyrus Ultras as well. Ah yes, now we get to see my other bird Bakugan for tonight. Falcron Core. I have Falcron in Ultra too, but in green and in black, Ventus and Darkest, so you won't see the Ultra tonight. But here's Falcron Core. There it is. The Ultra for Falcron looks really cool. And you can see you can see the contrasting paint on the back of the wings. That's a nice touch. Okay. Who do I have here? I think this is... No, I know who this is. I think this is going to be my Season 1 Pegatrix. Let's see if I'm right. Rolled right over the... There we go. I'm gonna... You know, it's a Pegatrix. And I kind of nudged it with my finger instead of rolling it. And it backed up onto the core. So it didn't really land legitimately. Even though it's a core, I'm going to let it go again. Because, you know, it is Pegatrix. And Pegatrix, as you should know by now, is my favorite Bakugan character. There we go. That's a proper landing. And there's... There she is. Okay, who do I have here? You know what, I'm gonna swap and save that one for later. Okay. We're gonna do Centipede now. I believe I got a second Centipede in, I think, Auralus. I'm not. I'll have to check that though. I know that if I have a second Centipede, it's not in today's opening. Centipede is like Fangzor and Phaedrus Core with its really long form. You can see that. You can see how it opens into a long form. And there's Centipede. Excuse me. Alright, who do I have? Okay. I have my other Aquos Pegatrix Ultra. I don't have either Aquos Core Pegatrix yet, though. This was my first Pegatrix Ultra. I now have, I mean, in this model, I have the Season 2 Ultra in 4 colors, but this was my first. Landed on his head. Let's try that again. And I am doing all the manual parts tonight, as you saw. Oh, come on. You know, it's Pegatrix. We can try that again. Now, there is one Ultra Bakugan which cannot land on his feet because its feet are the manual part. But that's Maxitor. But I only have him in Auralus, so you won't see that tonight. But it's cool the way he lands, because when he lands, his face is forward and it looks like he's charging like the bull he is. So he still gets a cool landing pose, even though he doesn't technically land on his feet. If I do my Auralus, Ventus, and Darkest together next week, then you'll definitely get to see that. This was my third attempt and it landed on his head again, but I gotta keep things moving. I got a lot of these to do. So let me go ahead and fold out his legs, and I'll show you. And I'll show you Pegatrix Ultra. There. That's what Pegatrix Ultra looks like in Season 2. That wasn't for me, so let's move on. Okay, what do I have here? Yes. We're going to look at Hydrus Ultra now. I have in 3 colors, 2 of which are going to roll tonight. Oh, we are doing that again. My Ultras just keep landing on their sides. My Ultras land on their feet with about a 50% frequency when I roll off camera, But when I'm on camera, they seem to not want to land on their feet. Funny how things work like that, isn't it? And this one kind of jammed up, so I have to close them all over again. There we go. And Hydrus is one of the easier, more balanced ones to land on his feet. Now, I do have both versions of Core, as you saw, as well as Season 2 Ultra in multiple colors, but I do not yet have the Season 1 Ultra Hydrus in any color. Some Bakugan fans think it looks more like a monkey than a lion, that one. I'll reserve my judgment till I see it in person. And it looks like we're going Pegatrix again. I'm in. There we go. I'm going to forgive that one for not landing on his feet, even though it's a core. Because actually, I did notice that a little bit of the play mat was uneven right there, so we're gonna let it slide. Here's the first Pegatrix. Will this phone stop ringing in the middle of my show? Hold on, I have to take this one. Sorry, some people have no respect. And because momentum was lost, I'm going to go ahead and roll Pegatrix again. There we go. Here's Pegatrix. And I just bumped my playmat, so let me fix the cores and make sure the playmat is, yeah, I think we're still even over here. So there's Pegatrix. Let's see, I just did white, so it's time for blue. Okay. I think I know which one this is. Let's give this a whirl. This is one of only 2 non-Pyrus Dragos you'll see tonight. Almost on its feet. I'm going to let it go again. It tried to. I think it just had too much momentum. Let's try that one more time. Three tries, and each time it went on its feet and then flipped over, so we're just going to call it with Drago, with blue Drago. There he is. Okay, who do I have now? Yes. It's time for another fat Tyranno. Nope, not that one. This one. That's the card I need. Close enough. We've already seen this. We've already seen this ball today, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on him. There he is. Okay, what is this? Do I really have to cheat? My mind is blanking on this ball. My mind should not have been blanking on this ball. Let's closing back up for the actual roll. All right. Sorry about that. My mind should really not have blanked on that one. But we're rolling out Enoch. Wow, he did a total somersault and landed on his head. We're going to try that one more time. Hopefully when I do my green, gold, and black ultras, they'll cooperate more on the openings than these red, white, and blue ultras are. And hopefully the rest of the ones in this opening will cooperate better too, as well. That's not how this is supposed to work. That doesn't count. Okay, that landed on his feet. That was a good leap. I like that opening. And this is another one that I have in white and blue. Enoch is cool. But he's clearly a demon in the card. The figure looks a lot like a dragon. And in season 2, they introduced a bunch of dragon-like characters, like Zillitor, Cyrus. Like, what's up with all these dragons in season 2? You've already got Dragonoid. Auxiliator and Cyrus are redundant. In my opinion, at least. Yes. This one is one of the easiest cores to identify. The season 2 Nilius core is very easy to identify in all its colors. It had too much momentum, didn't land on its feet. I'll give it one more try, even though it's not an ultra. Just because cores are supposed to have perfect landings every time. Okay. That scattered my matrix a bit. Give me a moment to rebuild. Rebuild, and then I'll show you the figure. Let's flip his little flag around like that. And this is Nilius. I also have 2 versions of the Ultra rolling out tonight, as well as another core of Nilius coming out tonight. And you can see the 2 heads there. So we're approximately halfway done. Approximately. Alright, we're going to see another one of my Dragonoids now. Pyrus, I mean. Dragonoids. I have 4 Pyrus Dragonoids. And this is my first ever Dragonoid that I'm rolling out right now. I had this the first weekend I started collecting these. Is when I bought this one. Here's Drago. Season 2 core. Let's see what I got here. And I think this is my one Chaos Dragonoid that I've got in hand right now. This is the Season 3 core version, which I think I only have in white. But it's my only white Drago so far. Dragonoid has, being the main character, has more sculpts than any other character. I think there's like 7 or 8 different models. I'm not counting Legacy here. I don't know anything about Legacy. I only collect the Reboot. I know that was cheating a little, but we got to keep this moving. Still got a lot more of these to do. I've already been at this for an hour. So here's Dragonoid, the Season 3 core version. The Ultra version I have in both Pyrus and Aurelus from Season 3. Okay, what's this? Yes. I know what this is. We're going to roll my last Hydronoid now. I have core in both white and blue. The Ultra I only have in Pyrus. Almost rolled back onto the cores that time. Wow, that was close. Okay, where's the magnet? We're not going to spend too much time on this one once it opens, just because you've seen this same sculpt in another color this show. I actually have Zentor in 3 different colors, and none of them are the colors that are up tonight, so Zentor is pretty cool. You'll get to see 3 of them on the next show, I guess. Zentor is a core, but which is detailed enough to look like an Ultra. Plus, it's got a cool fold-out sword. Finally, and he even opened facing the camera. And he scattered the grid. Okay. Technically, though, is Hydronoid a he or a they? I'm not 100% sure. There, Hydronoid. You've seen it already. And I keep bumping the playmat. Sorry about that. Let's move on. Who do I have here? We have my other Cornelius that you'll see tonight. None of the Ultras have come out yet, though. There we go. Quick little opening for Nilius. We're not going to dwell on him. You've seen this model before. Flip the little legs down. There's Nilius. Ah, yes. Finally, we're going to get to do the turtle. Tertonium. And I have both Core and Ultra in green. But I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, I only have the one Ultra. So you won't be seeing that tonight. But this was actually my first Tertonium. I had this one before I got either of the green ones. There he is. Sorry, Tertonium. Yeah. Now we're going to do Halcor. And there's a bunch of different Halcor figures, but this is Season 2 core. I have this one in 3 colors, and of the 3 different Halcor figures, I feel this is the weakest sculpt. Because the way they have Halcor's extra heads in this sculpt, it looks like they're coming out on arms rather than actually being where heads should be. I have this one in 3 colors. I also have the Ultra in a couple colors. But I think, yeah, I think only one of my Ultras is going to be in the show tonight. Let's move on. Yeah. We're going to do Gortheon. This is the core version. I also have the Ultra version that's going to be opened later. I only have one each of the core and the Ultra. The Ultra version is by far better. But it's also, the Ultra Gortheon is also the easiest of all the Ultras to close. It's easier to close even than some cores. And there we go. Gortheon. I'm not going to show you his backside because for some reason they gave him a unileg for his backside. The Ultra version, he's got proper back legs. Ah, yes. I've been waiting for this one to come out. This is the other Nilius, Nilius Ultra. And it's got one of the most interesting forms. You know what? It landed upside down. Let's try that again. One more attempt with Nilius Ultra. That's not how things are supposed to land. That does not count. It popped open, but not on the cores. As I've said before, I don't count it if it's not on the cores. Upside down again. You know what? We'll have another chance later when the blue one comes out. We're going to go ahead and move on. There's his head. There's what he looks like. You can see just how big he is compared with a closed ball. You can see the whole ball is based practically in the wings and a little bit in the tail. Who do I have here? Ah, I've been waiting for this one to come out. Phaedrus. Oh, very reminiscent of Fangzor and how it opens. I have the core in 2 colors. The other one I think is green, so this is the only Phaedrus I'm rolling tonight. Both of my ultras are in colors I'm not rolling up tonight, so this is my only Phaedrus for tonight. And yes, if it stops on a magnet, but if it stops on a core, but the internal magnet is facing not down, then it's not going to open, because it's the magnet that has to touch the core to trigger the opening. There we go. Phaedrus is basically one of those Asian serpent-style dragons. Like that. Okay. Who do I have? Yes. We're doing Garganoid now. I hope he lands, because he's a pain to close. Not as much of a pain as some of my other characters, though. Oh, he landed on his feet. The question is, did he pick up a core? He did not. So, once again, I can't count that. Let me close them up real quick, and then we'll try that again. Hold on. I think I'm doing this wrong. Let me try that again. This would be so much easier if they opened correctly the first time, you know? And I've jammed him again. Okay, I think I got him going correctly this time. Yeah. Now I'm able to fold the legs. All right, let's try that again. Okay, that was a good flip. And he kept the core this time. And there he is. You can see big, giant legs and wings with a tiny, tiny little head right there. You can see how tiny his head is compared with the rest of his body. Okay. Now we're going to roll Shark Tar Ultra. I have the core version of Shark Tar too, but only in green, so we're not going to have core Shark Tar today. But we do have Ultra Shark Tar in both white and blue. Almost. Quick little close up. I'm going to give it one more attempt. I really need to be landing these on their feet more consistently during streams. But hey, that's what rolling practice is for, right? Theoretically. I mean, my setup's not the best for rolling practices because of my limited space, but whatever. It didn't even try to land on its feet there, but it scattered my grid. All right. One more try. That's all. Well, it's one more. Okay, that was a good flip. Kept the core. And here's Shark Tar. He's basically a shark with legs. Okay. Wow, this one's got some scratching paint. But we were talking about Syndius earlier, and it's time to roll my Ultra Syndius. And this one, I really need to land on its feet because you'll see how cool it is when it lands on its feet. And it really messes with that effect if it falls over. Almost. Now my Syndius Ultra in Aquos is pretty loose. The head sometimes pops out in storage even when it's closed, but my Auralus figure, it's nice and tight and doesn't do that. Not sure why the Aquos is so much looser than the Auralus. They're both made the same after all. They're the same character. And I keep popping the head up when I pick it up. Not on its feet. I have to do that again. With Syndius, landing on its feet effect is particularly important. Oy. Let's try that again. But this will be the third attempt, so if I don't get it here, I'll just have to show you what I mean and move on. The head popped out as it was starting to roll. That's happened to me before with this figure. It landed on the core without opening, which makes no sense given how loose this figure usually is. And because the head is so loose, it makes the whole ball wobbly. It almost did it. But as you can see, when it lands on its feet, it grabs the core like a shield. It grabs the core on its shield, and it looks like the core, it's holding the core as its shield. Pretty cool effect. If you look at the shield, you can also see that its paint is chipping. None of my other Bakugan are like that as far as I am aware, so I don't know why this one is chipping. But there's Syndius. Sword pointed straight out front. This Syndius is a much more intimidating, much better looking figure than the core version that we saw earlier. Okay, what do I have here? Ah, yes. Now we're going to see Howl Core as an Ultra. I do have the Ultra in at least one other color, possibly two, but I don't think they're tonight. Okay. It would have landed on his feet had it not hit the monitor. So I'm going to go ahead and call that. We've been at this for almost an hour and a half, and I still got 26 more of these things to do. So I think it's 26 if I counted that correctly. So Ultras will only get rerolls now if they land in really embarrassingly. But there's what Season 2 Howl Core Ultra looks like. You can see the heads actually look like their heads. The heads, I mean, they look like they're where the heads are supposed to go, unlike on the core version. Okay, what do I have here? Ah, yes, this will be my Gortheon Ultra. You see in the core. Now, Gortheon, the Ultra version has proper back legs. And I am not counting that. I just got finished saying that I'm only redoing Ultras if they land embarrassingly. That one didn't even try. Better than before, but still not on his feet. But There's Gortheon. Hold on. I didn't give you a really good look. There was Gortheon. And here you can see his proper back legs. And now we're going to do my other Aquos Hydrus. There he is. Okay. Is this... I can't really tell. I'm going to take a chance with the card here. Is this my Pyrus Pegatrix Ultra? We're about to find out. Yes, it is. And it landed on its feet and grabbed the core. So this Pegatrix actually did what it was supposed to do first try. So here's the Pegatrix. Okay, what's this here? I'm taking a guess on this one. This is another core I haven't memorized yet. But I think this one is my Serpentese. This is the only Serpentese I have so far. Which is weird considering that he has two forms and both of them were released in multiple colors. I think Serpentese's native color is blue. There we go. Yeah, I was right about Serpentese. There it is. Okay, what have I here? I'm going to make a guess with this one. I think this is a Fade Ninja. Yep. Fade Ninja is one of those Bakugan that doesn't really look like its card on account of the fact is it only exists as a core, not an Ultra. And most of the cores from Season 1, they pretty much keep the ball shape. The ball shape is obvious in their open forms. The Ultras do better at hiding the ball in the open forms. But pretty much all the cores, particularly in Season 1, look disproportionately fat compared with their character designs. There's Fate Ninja. Okay, what have I here? Okay, I think this is... yeah. Time for Ultra Trucks. That does not count at all. He jumped over the cores without grabbing any. I cannot count that. That's what we call embarrassing. He made no attempt to turn to his feet, but he closes quick enough, and we haven't spent too much time on him. I'll give him another go. Let's try that again. Close enough. He tried to come around to his feet, so we'll let it stand. No pun intended. And let me flip out his arms real quick, because all 4 versions of trucks, you have to flip out the arms. All right, we're going to roll out another Pegatrix Ultra. Okay, that one didn't technically land upright, but I like the way that one landed, so it'll stand. Look, it landed on its back legs, like it's a horse rearing up for action. I really like that pose. It's reminiscent of the Season 1 Ultra Pegatrix. Let me just do its manual parts real quick. And I think we've seen most of the Pegatrixes that are coming out tonight. Actually, I think that's all except one of them. So there's Pegatrix. What's this? I think I know which one this one is. This one's a real pain to close, so I hope it lands decently. Nobilius. I like Nobilius. He's an interesting character concept. And he landed upright the first try. I'm very thankful for that because he's hard to close. So yeah. There he is. He's kind of hollow from the back, so I'll just show him from the front. He looks pretty cool from the front. We've got 15 Bakugan left to roll. Yes. We're on to another Drago now. This is the Season 3 Ultra Dragonoid. Landed on his feet, first try. Don't have to do any extra time with him. Let's see. There he is. Oh, I miscounted. Yes, let's get this one. This is one that doesn't always open when landing on the core. Hopefully he'll cooperate today. And this is my Pandox. The only color I have him in so far. And even though he didn't pop open on the core, I'm just gonna move on, because this one I've been having issues with. As you can see, his arms don't hang symmetrically. I think there's an issue with one of the springs inside, because you can't put his arms symmetrically like they're supposed to be. His arms don't hang at equal points. So I think there's something wrong with my Pandox in general. He also I usually have to tap him when he lands on the core. He doesn't usually open on his own. He's not worth doing a second take on. Okay, what have I here? Ah, yes. My other Sharktar Ultra. Since we've already seen this model today, we're not going to dwell on him if he has a good land. Wow. In fact, because I still have a bunch to do, and because we've been at this, we're going to end up over 2 hours by the time we finish. So I'm just going to, since we've seen him before in another color, I'm just going to move on. I want to save this one for later. Okay, we can do this one. My first Pyrus Bakugan. Hold on. I don't think I didn't turn off the card. This is my first. This is, we're about to do Gillator. Gillator was my first Pyrus Bakugan not named Dragonoid. I got Gillator on my second day of buying Bakugan. Landed on his back, so we're going to do the redo on him. Okay, that was a good landing. Let me fix the grid, and then I'll fix his feet, and then we'll show him off. Let me pull his feet down. There's Gillator. Okay. I think this is my last Lion Boy for tonight. Hydrus. That does not count. Okay, I'm not counting that. Hydrus doesn't usually get stuck on hitting a core like that. I'm not sure what happened that time. Hydrus is usually one of my better behaved ones. He was another one of my first weekend Bakugan. Well, this particular color. I have this Hydrus model in 2 other colors, Pyrus and Darkest, I think. But both of those were more recent acquisitions. There he is. Possible finale. Okay. I'm going to be embarrassed if I get this one wrong, but I think this is my core Fenica. Let me see if I can find the card here. Fenica. Yeah, I know I kind of just pushed him back onto the core, but, or her. I think Fenica's a her. But yeah, we gotta keep things moving. Fenica. Pretty cute, but not as cute as the Ultra version, in my opinion at least. Still got the big ears. Let's see. What is this one? Ah, yes. We're going for another one of my Pyrus Ultras. Kellyanne this time. And I recently got a second Kellyanne. I think Darkest. I do know I have a second Kellyanne, but it's not in today's opening. Pretty sure it's Darkest. It tried, but you know the rule. Let's see here. Oh, that was 2 attempts. We're just going to have to leave it there. Float up its horns. There's Kellyanne. Kellyanne is basically supposed to be like a Kieran. Yeah, that's going to be for the last round. Yeah, we can do this one now. We're now going to do Cyrus. Cyrus being one of the redundant dragons from the 2nd season. I consider Cyrus and Auxiliador to be redundant because they're dragons and we already had Dragonoid. They're still cool though. I like Cyrus and Auxiliator. Oh, I interfered with that one. We'll let her roll again. Cyrus is one of those figures that looks nothing like the card. And I literally mean nothing like the card. Like, you'll see in a moment. And I'm closing bits out of order again. Alright, let's try her again. Well, landed on the back. And I kind of need to practice closing that one again anyway, because I didn't remember it the first time. So there we go. Last attempt with Cyrus. Last attempt doesn't count since it didn't open by the cores, but by the edge of the playmat. That snap was way too loud for comfort. There we go. Grabbed the core, landed on its feet. That's what we call a good landing. So here's Cyrus. As you can see, she looks nothing like the card. Still pretty cool looking though. I want this one to be the finale for Aquos. So we'll take this one. I know which one this is. This is my Nilius Ultra in blue. Last Nilius of the night. Landed on his feet. That's a good landing. I recall the white Nilius was being stubborn, but blue Nilius Ultra gave us a good roll, so there he is. I've got 9 Bakugan left, so we're definitely going to go just over the 2-hour mark. Okay. I hope I identify this one correctly. Truncanius, my elephant. Landed on its feet. First go. Some Ultra are easier to land on their feet than others, as you are seeing tonight. There's Truncanius. It's kind of hard to see its eye behind the ear. Let's see who I have here. Let's actually go this one for this round. We'll be rolling out my Pinssator now. Pinssator is the second Scorpion Bakugan they've done. Pinssator is Season 3. Scorponok was the first Scorpion they did back in Season 1. I only have one Scorponok, and that's the core version in Aurelus. I don't have any Ultra yet. Pinssator also has an Ultra. I don't have any Pinssator Ultras yet. I think I have Pinssator in a second color lobe, but I'm not 100% sure. And then you gotta float out his little legs. And there's Pinssator. And now, Auxiliator. I think after I roll green, gold, and black on the next practice, following practices will be limited to 2 colors because this is definitely too long for a practice stream. I just want to make sure that my colors get roughly the equal amount of play, so I will do the other 3 colors in one go next time. There's Auxiliator. It's time for my other Fennica Ultra. Maybe this one will be more cooperative with the landing. So far, no. Let me try that again. Didn't even try, but we've seen this model already and it's getting late, so. Here's Fennica Ultra in Pyrus. Yeah. Pretty sure I know which one hasn't come out yet, so. Here's another Trox Ultra. Wow, that was an interesting jump, but he's going to get one more attempt. That was weird. No cord grabbing, but it threw him against my screen. Somehow it came off the cords with such force that he not only didn't grab one, because he was moving too fast, but he yeeted himself at my screen, so... Oh, come on! He knows there's only 4 characters left after him. He's trying to stall so that my stream goes longer and later. That's the only explanation. I haven't seen that behavior from my other Troxes, though. There we go. That land followed all the rules. I guess you trash talk a Bakugan long enough, they'll cooperate one time just to show you that they can. Arms, and here he is. I do believe 3 of the 4 Trox models are kind of dorky looking. The Season 1 Ultra Trox looks like a T-Rex out of Jurassic Park, though. That one's cool, but I only have that one in green. And I just dropped the Bakugan that I was about to roll next. And, of course, it opened as I dropped it, so let me close him real quick. And the last 4 Bakugan I have in the queue, all 4 of them are Ultras. So, I hope they give us good shows. Starting with my Enoch. This is my other copy of Enoch. This particular blue Enoch was actually one of my first weekend Bakugan. Grabbed the core, landed on his feet, first try. So we're moving into the final red, white, and blue sequence now. Here's Enoch. So, the finale for red, for Pyrus, is going to be my last Dragonoid, Hyper Dragonoid. I also have this mold in Darkest. Nice. That was a cool flip that one did. So let me fold up its wings and its horn, and we will move on. There's Hyper Dragonoid. You can see his horns a little bit bigger proportionally to his head than most Drago models. You can see the wing design there, the double wings. I really like that. For our finale in Chaos, we'll have our other Pegatrix Ultra. This is the Season 1 Ultra, the one that's only in white and blue. I'm going to give it a redo. And we've just broken the 2-hour mark. This is the second to last Bakugan, though, so we're not going to be too much over 2 hours. Given that there's only 2 left at this point, and that Pegatrix is my favorite Bakugan, I'd say we can give it another, we have time to give it another go. It would be again, it didn't even pick up a core that time. It had too much speed as it rolled through the cores, so it opened without grabbing anything. Oh, that was 4 tries already. I give up. If it wasn't so late, I would keep going with Pegatrix till I got it right, but I still got one more Bakugan to do, and I'm over 2 hours now, so. No practice should take this long. There's Pegatrix Ultra. And for my finale tonight, I have Batrix Ultra, who's actually one of my newer Bakugan. Just got him in my mass unboxing that I did on this channel a few weeks ago. I also have Batrix and Aurelus. My Aurelus Batrix I had way back during my first month. It was one of my early Bakugan. But this is my second Batrix. And this one this one is pretty new. Upside down landing. We're going to give it one more go. Okay, let's try that one more time. Hopefully the final roll of the night. And like I said, it doesn't count if they get triggered by something other than the cores. Wow, it keeps doing that. And it just skidded my mouse across the playmat. Batrix is being uncooperative tonight. Hopefully my other Batrix won't do this next week. There we go. A perfect land. I don't even know why I'm resetting the chords right now. That was my final roll. I guess it's to just keep the screen consistent as I go into my outro here. There's Batrix. Alright. I'm going to grab my mouse real quick. That's kind of awkward. We're going to do a raid. And it doesn't... The music stream I want to watch tonight, he starts in 12 minutes, but his raid is not on yet. So let's see. Looking down my list, there's no other musicians on right now. So we'll raid Meg's TV. She's playing something called Outcast. At least it's not Among Us again. Her channel was pretty much exclusive. She was pretty much exclusively doing Among Us for a while, and not really. I don't like that game. I know it's a popular game, but I just don't like it. But she's playing something called Outlast tonight, so it's not Among Us. So we'll go there. All right. Probably in the next week or two, I'll pull out my Ventus, Aurelus, and Darkest Bakugan and do the other half of my collection. Have a good night, everyone. And tomorrow is my 50th episode special, in which I will be trying to learn. I will be finding out, basically, if, after so many years of using cheat utilities, if I still remember how to play Morrowind normally, without cheats, without God mode. I mean, I'm not going to turn my mods off, but I'm just not going to use them. We won't be going to get the secret crate in the Satanine Lighthouse. Anyways, I'll see you for my 50th episode special tomorrow. Have a good night.
Let's just stretch a little bit before we have to do another chase. Hey, thank you, Uncle. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Can we get a shout out, Senior, for Uncle? I hear footsteps. That's not cool. Okay. Whoa. That door won't open. Alright, fine. Ooh, I got a sneaky spot. I love sneaky spots. Thank you, Blaze.